What if I told you that regaining your energy, stamina, and even your masculine vitality after 60 doesn't depend on expensive treatments or trendy supplements, but on a tiny pill that costs just a few cents? Sounds hard to believe, right? Yet thousands of men across the United States are discovering that one simple vitamin, the one that's always sitting on pharmacy shelves and almost nobody pays attention to, can bring back the strength and drive they thought were gone forever. It's not magic, it's pure science. Science that is literally changing lives, even though many doctors never mention it. I'm Dr. Gabriela Cruz, urologist and men's health specialist with over 15 years of experience helping men naturally restore their energy, confidence, and intimacy. Throughout my career, I have studied in detail what really happens inside the male body as the years go by. And I can assure you of one thing: the problem isn't getting older, it's what aging quietly wears down without you noticing. What surprises most men is this: the vitamin your body needs to maintain energy and vitality is exactly the one that gets depleted the most after age 60. It's inexpensive, easy to find, and available everywhere, but hardly anyone talks about it. That's the real mystery. How can something so small and so cheap be the key to reigniting your body's internal engine? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that vitamin is, how it boosts your circulation and energy, and the safe way to use it to regain strength, focus, and desire. And stay until the end because I'll also reveal a very simple nighttime habit that multiplies its effects while you sleep. So you wake up with an energy you may not have felt in years. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content specially designed for men over 60 who want to naturally regain their strength, vitality, and confidence. If this topic interests you, drop a 1 in the comments so I know this content is helping you. If not, write 0. Your comments help us create clearer, more focused information just for you. Now let's get into the truth behind why so many men start losing energy, strength, and desire after 60. It's not just aging or a drop in testosterone. There's something much deeper going on, a process inside your own cells that slowly drains your vitality without you realizing it. Let me explain what's really happening. First, the real reason for fatigue after 60. Most men feel a change that's hard to put into words. Mornings feel heavier. The energy that used to come naturally now takes effort. Simple things, climbing stairs, playing with grandchildren, staying focused, become harder than they should. Many blame age or low testosterone, but the truth is far more surprising. After helping men for 15 years, I've seen over and over that this decline doesn't start in the muscles or hormones. It starts inside every single cell. Each cell works like a tiny engine that needs fuel to stay active. But as we age, your stomach produces less acid and your body absorbs essential nutrients poorly. Over the years, your cells stop getting what they need to produce energy. You keep eating and going about your routine, but your cells are quietly starving. The result? Constant fatigue, lack of motivation, brain fog, and a weakness that doesn't improve even with rest. Most men have no idea that the real culprit isn't testosterone, as many believe. The root cause is a shortage of key micronutrients that used to keep metabolism running and circulation strong. And among all of them, one stands far above the rest: a crucial vitamin that turns food into energy, repairs muscles, and nourishes the brain. I've watched men walk in convinced they were just getting old, and weeks later see them regain their vitality and strength just by correcting this silent deficiency. It's not age that steals your energy. It's a deficiency nobody ever taught you to recognize. And the best part? The solution is simple and extremely affordable. So, what is this overlooked nutrient that can reignite the strength you thought was lost forever? The answer is simpler than you think. A tiny vitamin that costs just pennies and is probably at the pharmacy closest to your house. 2. The 12-cent vitamin that changes everything I clearly remember. A 68-year-old patient named Hector. He came to my office several years ago looking worn out, moving slowly, and said in a tired voice, "Doctor, I feel like my body is running in its last drops of fuel." He had already tried expensive supplements, energy drinks, even testosterone therapy. Nothing worked. His blood work revealed something I've seen hundreds of times since: a severe vitamin B12 deficiency. Just a few weeks after starting treatment, Hector returned completely transformed. He smiled and said, "Doctor, I feel like I've come back to life." That moment was a turning point for me. That's when I truly understood the enormous power of this tiny nutrient. Vitamin B12, also called cobalamin, costs just pennies and is available at virtually any pharmacy. Yet most people underestimate it, never imagining the critical role it plays in the body. This vitamin helps cells produce energy, keeps the nervous system functioning properly, improves oxygen transport, and supports healthy circulation. It's like the invisible fuel that powers your heart, brain, and muscles. When B12 levels drop, your body stops moving oxygen efficiently. Cells begin to suffocate from the inside, and that shows up as fatigue, weakness, poor concentration, and even intimacy issues. But when levels return to normal, it's like turning the engine back on. Blood flows stronger. Muscles regain power. The mind feels clear and sharp again. And the best part? You don't need complicated treatments or rituals. One simple daily tablet can completely change how you feel in just weeks. I've witnessed this transformation in my patients countless times, and it still moves me every single time. It's like life giving them a second chance. So if one simple vitamin can wake up your body's engine, imagine what you'll discover when you understand the science behind how it drives strength, circulation, and masculine vitality. That's exactly what I'm going to show you now. Energy and vitality don't depend only on muscles or testosterone. They depend on a much deeper process: the energy created inside your cells. And this is where vitamin B12 becomes a true silent hero. Inside every cell are tiny structures called mitochondria, the power plants of your body. Their job is to take the food you eat and turn it into usable energy, what scientists call ATP. But these power plants can't function without one key ingredient: vitamin B12. When B12 runs low, it's like trying to start a car with no gas and no spark. Everything slows down, metabolism stalls, circulation weakens, and the mind gets foggy. That's why so many men with B12 deficiency describe constant exhaustion, confusion, and feeling disconnected. But when the vitamin is restored, the entire body wakes up. Oxygen flows better, muscles get the energy they need, and the nervous system sends fast, clear signals again. Here's a crucial fact. Vitamin B12 helps the body produce nitric oxide, a natural compound that relaxes and widens blood vessels. This improves circulation not only to the heart and brain, but also to the areas responsible for masculine function. In other words, B12 doesn't just make you feel more alive, it helps you respond like you used to. I've seen many men who thought their days of passion were over, and after restoring this function, they felt whole again, physically and emotionally. It's not magic, it's biology working the way it's supposed to. But here's what's worrying. Nearly half of men over 60 have very low levels of this essential nutrient, and most don't even know it. This silent deficiency is the next critical topic we need to address. 4. The hidden deficiency most people overlook. I've lost count of how many times a man has sat in front of me and said with defeat in his voice, "Doctor, I think I'm just getting old." Every time I hear those words, I feel the same frustration because, in most cases, it's not age draining their vitality. It's a slow, silent deficiency that builds over the years. The most common and dangerous one? Vitamin B12 deficiency. The danger lies in how sneaky it is. You don't notice it overnight. It starts with heavier mornings. Weeks later, legs feel stiffer. The mind wanders. Mood drops for no reason. Sometimes there's slight numbness in hands or feet, or sleep stops being restorative. These aren't just normal signs of aging, they're clear signals that your cells aren't getting enough energy or oxygen. The statistics are shocking. Around 40% of men over 60 have low or insufficient B12 levels, and almost none of them have been tested. The reason is simple. As we age, the stomach produces less acid, so even if you eat well, most of the B12 from food never makes it into your bloodstream. Over time, this quiet loss leads to constant fatigue, weak muscles, poor circulation, and even intimacy problems, all while your regular checkups say everything is normal. But here's the good news. This damage is not permanent. It can be reversed. And the solution is so simple, it's almost unbelievable. In fact, it's probably already waiting at the pharmacy near your home. So how do you safely and properly restore your energy? That's exactly what I want to explain now. 5. Dr. Gabriela Cruz's step-by-step protocol. When a man comes to my office exhausted and unmotivated, I always tell him the same thing. We don't have to guess. We can measure what's missing and rebuild it step by step. Step 1 is awareness. I recommend every man over 60 get a simple vitamin B12 blood test. It's fast, inexpensive, and incredibly revealing. Many are shocked when they see the results. Doctor, how can my level be so low? The truth is, it's extremely common. For a man your age, the optimal level should be above 500 picograms per milliliter, yet most arrive with much lower numbers. Once the deficiency is confirmed, real recovery begins. I prescribe 1,000 micrograms of B12 every morning, preferably sublingual, under the tongue. No need for expensive injections or complicated treatments. Just a simple methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin tablet. These forms are safe and proven. Take it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning when absorption is best, so your body can use it all day. Consistency is key. You don't need massive doses from day one. Small, steady amounts rebuild energy from the inside out. After 2 to 4 weeks, something wonderful usually happens. Brain fog lifts, mornings feel lighter, you get up more easily, and you notice clearer thinking and more strength. I have seen this change so many times. It always reminds me of something fundamental. Healing isn't always about adding new things. Sometimes it's about giving the body back what it stopped receiving. But there's one more thing I share with my patients, a habit that dramatically boosts results. It's a simple nighttime routine that lets your body repair and regenerate deeply while you sleep. When you combine it with morning B12, the difference is astonishing. 6. The nighttime combination that multiplies results. When I first started recommending B12 to older patients, I discovered something unexpected. Progress was much greater when paired with the right nighttime ritual. B12 powers you through the day, keeping cells active, mind clear, and blood rich with oxygen. But the body also needs repair, and that happens during sleep. The key is preparing your body at night so it can rebuild everything that wore down during the day. One patient, Anselmo, 71 years old, told me, "Doctor, I feel great in the mornings with my B12, but by night I'm exhausted again." I smiled and said, "You're recharging, but you're not letting your body fully restore." That's when I introduced him to a simple nighttime supplement that transforms sleep: magnesium. This mineral relaxes blood vessels, releases muscle tension, and promotes deep, truly restorative sleep. It also plays a quiet but crucial role in testosterone regulation and blood flow, especially when combined with B12. In just 2 weeks, Anselmo, at 71, slept better, woke up energized, and gradually regained his confidence. You can take magnesium in capsules, or even better, with a relaxing herbal tea made with ashwagandha, ginger, or ginseng. These herbs calm the nervous system, reduce nighttime stress, and prepare the body for true repair while you sleep. Think of it as pressing an internal reset button. B12 gives you energy. Magnesium sustains it. Deep sleep completes the restoration. It's a natural cycle that rebuilds vitality from the inside. I always tell my patients, once you learn to balance this rhythm, activating the body by day and recovering it by night, you start feeling years younger. But this transformation goes beyond the physical. Something deeper happens when a man feels alive again. Because once energy returns, the next step is reclaiming your identity. 7. Reclaiming your manhood and living fully after 60. I'll never forget a 65-year-old patient named Ernesto. He came in with clasped hands and downcast eyes, saying in a broken voice, "Doctor, I no longer feel like the man I used to be. I'm tired and have no confidence, and my wife is worried because she doesn't know what's wrong with me." I looked him in the eyes and said with complete certainty, "Ernesto, that man is still there. He's just buried under years of fatigue, and we're going to bring him back." And that's exactly what happened. A few weeks after normalizing his B12, adopting new habits, and balancing his body, Ernesto walked back into my office, standing tall, smiling, full of life. "Doctor," he said, "I feel like myself again." That's what reclaiming your manhood really means. It's not about trying to be 25 again. It's about reconnecting with your strength, your purpose, and your inner confidence. It's looking in the mirror and feeling proud. Not because of what you see, but because you feel authentic, complete, and alive. When energy returns, everything changes: your posture, your laugh, the way you speak, even how you love. You remember what it's like to wake up excited to live, not just get through the day. I've seen it countless times: men traveling again, picking up old hobbies, strengthening relationships, and rediscovering genuine joy they thought was gone forever. Yes, the body ages, but the spirit doesn't have to. When you give your body what it truly needs, it responds with strength, clarity, and vitality beyond anything you thought possible. Conclusion: your second chapter starts now. Looking back at all the men I've helped over the years, I always see the same pattern. The turning point was never a miracle pill or a complicated treatment. Real change began with a decision to stop accepting fatigue, weakness, and decline as normal. The decision to take back control of their health, their body, and their confidence. For many, that journey started with something as simple as a tiny tablet. That vitamin that costs just pennies may seem insignificant, but it holds powerful science capable of reigniting what time had dimmed: your strength, your mental clarity, and your desire to live fully. Vitamin B12 isn't just a nutrient. It's a reminder that your body still has enormous potential waiting to be awakened. When you give it the right fuel, your cells respond, rebuilding energy, repairing years of wear, and restoring the balance that was missing. Fatigue starts to fade, mornings become lighter, and that inner spark you thought was gone forever comes roaring back. Add consistency, good sleep, and a little faith in yourself. And you'll discover that age isn't a barrier, it's just a new chapter. And you get to write it however you want. I've watched men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s regain strength they thought was gone forever. They walk taller, laugh louder, and love deeper, not because they turned back the clock, but because they reclaimed something far more valuable: vitality. And that's exactly what I want for you. Before you go on with your day, make yourself a promise: never again settle for feeling less than fully alive. Go to the pharmacy, get your vitamin B12. Take it tomorrow morning. Give your body the chance to show you just how strong it can still be. Because this isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of your second chapter. And believe me, it can be the best one yet.